The clinic ownership papers sat on the kitchen table between us. Dad's signature line waited. Mine remained blank. "This is family legacy," Dad said, refilling his wine glass. "Your grandmother built this practice. I've maintained it for 30 years. It belongs with me." I kept my voice level. "Grandma left it to me in her will. The probate court confirmed it. The clinic is legally mine." Mom set down her fork with deliberate precision. "After everything we've sacrificed for you, I'm not signing." I stood to leave. Dad's hand clamped around my wrist. "Sit down. We're not finished." The kitchen felt smaller suddenly. Mom moved to the doorway, blocking it. Dad's grip tightened until my fingers went numb. "You're being selfish," he said quietly. "I've treated patients in that building since before you were born. My name is on every medical journal in that office. My reputation built that practice. Grandma's will was clear." I pulled my arm back. "He didn't release it. She wanted me to have it because I helped her keep it running when you were gambling away the revenue." His face flushed. Mom's expression hardened into something I'd never seen before. "We gave you everything," Mom said. "Private schools, college, medical school tuition. This is how you repay us. By respecting Grandma's legal wishes." "Yes." Dad stood abruptly, still gripping my wrist. He dragged me toward the stove. I stumbled, trying to keep my footing. "You need to understand something about family obligation," he said. His other hand turned the oven dial. The blue flame ignited, with a soft whoosh. "What are you doing?" My voice stayed calm despite my accelerating heartbeat. "Teaching you respect." He opened the oven door. Heat blasted out. "Your grandmother was senile when she made that will. Everyone knows it. She didn't understand what she was signing. She was completely lucid. The neurologist confirmed it. That's in the probate records." Mom stepped closer. "You're going to sign these papers. Tonight, or you're going to learn what real family pressure feels like." Dad's hand moved to the back of my neck. Professional fingers found pressure points. He'd done this to patients countless times, controlling head position for examinations. Now those same skilled hands forced my face toward the open oven. The heat intensified. I could feel it on my cheeks, my forehead. My eyes watered. "This is insane," I said. "You're a physician. I'm a father first." He pushed my head closer. "Sign the papers." "No." Mom reached past us and turned the temperature dial. The flames increased. I could smell my hair beginning to singe. "Sign them." Dad's voice remained unnervingly calm. "Or we see how long your face can tolerate 400 degrees. I tried to pull back. His grip was iron. Medical school had taught him exactly how much pressure to apply, exactly which nerves to compress to cause maximum compliance with minimum visible injury. The heat became unbearable. I felt my hairline burning. The smell of scorched hair filled the kitchen. "Last chance," he said. "Sign the papers or burn. Go to hell." He shoved my head closer. My hair caught fire. I screamed. Mom grabbed a dish towel and beat at my head, extinguishing the flames. But Dad didn't let go. He held my face near the heat for another 10 seconds before finally releasing me. I collapsed on the floor, hands covering my scalp. The pain was extraordinary. "Think about it," Dad said, returning to his wine glass. "Papers will be here tomorrow night. Come back with better judgment." Mom dropped the dish towel on my lap. "This is your fault. We wouldn't have to do this if you'd just be reasonable." I drove myself to Memorial Hospital. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Every time I touched my scalp, charred hair came away in my fingers. The ER nurse took one look at me and called for immediate burn assessment. Within 20 minutes I was in the burn unit examination room. Dr. Sandra Martinez entered with a tablet and camera. She was maybe 50, with gray streaks in her dark hair and the calm competence of someone who'd seen everything. "Tell me what happened," she said, photographing my scalp from multiple angles. My father held my head in the oven until my hair caught fire. Her hands paused. "Your father did this?" "Yes." "Deliberately?" "Yes. He's trying to force me to sign over property ownership. The clinic I inherited from my grandmother." Dr. Martinez set down the camera. She pulled on fresh gloves and began examining my scalp with gentle, systematic precision. Every touch was documented on her tablet with voice notes. Second-degree burns across approximately 30% of scalp surface, she recorded. Burn pattern consistent with forced proximity to direct heat source. Singed hair shows directional pattern inconsistent with accidental exposure. Patient reports assault by family member, who is physician, suggesting knowledge of burn thresholds and pain compliance techniques. She took tissue samples of the burned hair, photographed the patterns from 8 different angles, measured the depth of tissue damage. I'm required by law to report this, she said, as abuse of an adult by someone in a position of authority. I'm also personally choosing to document everything with the understanding this may become evidence. He'll claim it was an accident. The burn pattern proves otherwise. She showed me the photos on her tablet. See how the hair is singed in a uniform direction. That only happens with sustained forced exposure. An accidental burn would show irregular patterns. Also, the depth is consistent across the burned area. That indicates someone held you at a specific distance for a calculated duration. Your father's medical training would tell him exactly how long to maintain that exposure. She spent 90 minutes documenting everything, every measurement, every photograph, every detail I provided about Dad's technique, Mom's participation, the property dispute. I'll be filing a police report from the hospital, she said, and I'm offering to testify if this goes to court. I specialize in burn pattern analysis. I've testified in 36 cases. Your father chose the wrong type of assault to commit around someone like me. The police arrived 40 minutes later. I gave my statement, showed them the ownership papers in my car, provided the probate court documentation proving the clinic was legally mine. The detective photographed the text messages from Mom. You brought this on yourself. Come tomorrow with the papers signed and an apology. We'll be paying your father a visit, the detective said. Dr. Martinez's documentation is extremely thorough. This is assault with a deadly weapon at minimum. Given his medical license, probably additional charges. My phone exploded with messages over the next 3 hours. Mom, police just left. How could you do this to your father? Dad, you've made a serious mistake. This will destroy our family. My aunt, your parents are devastated. Over some paperwork. Grow up. Uncle, your dad built that clinic. You're being ungrateful and vindictive. I screenshot everything, forward it to my attorney. The state medical board contacted me 6 days later. They'd received Dr. Martinez's report. They were opening an investigation into Dad's conduct. His medical license was under review. We take extremely seriously any case where a physician uses their medical knowledge to cause harm, the investigator told me. Your father would have understood exactly what he was doing. The pain thresholds, the burn timing, the psychological impact. That makes this particularly egregious. The emergency hearing was scheduled for 3 weeks later. Dad's attorney tried to settle, offered to drop all claims to the clinic if I withdrew my statements. My attorney's response was simple. No. The hearing room was smaller than I expected. 11 board members sat in a semicircle. Dad sat with his attorney at one table. I sat with mine at another. The board chairman read the charges. Dr. Richard Brennan, you are accused of using your medical knowledge and training to commit assault and torture against your daughter in an attempt to coerce property transfer. The board has reviewed police reports, hospital documentation, and expert witness analysis. We will now hear testimony. Dr. Martinez was sworn in. She connected her laptop to the display screen. The photographs of my scalp appeared, magnified and clinical. Dr. Martinez, the chairman said, please describe the injuries you treated. She walked through each photograph methodically, pointed out the burn patterns, the directional evidence, the uniform depth indicating calculated exposure. Could these injuries be accidental? One board member asked. No, the pattern is impossible to create accidentally. The hair shows forced directional burning, meaning the victim's head was held at a specific angle and distance from the heat source. The uniformity of burn depth across the affected area indicates the exposure was maintained for a controlled duration. This requires both deliberate intent and understanding of thermal injury progression. Dad's attorney objected. This is speculation about my client's intent. I'm describing medical evidence, Dr. Martinez said calmly. The burn pattern tells a clear story. Someone with medical training would recognize these patterns. Dr. Brennan certainly would have known what he was creating. The chairman leaned forward. Dr. Martinez, in your expert opinion, describe the thermal injuries proving the accused used heat as a torture weapon. Dr. Martinez didn't hesitate. The burns show progressive exposure, meaning the heat source was applied gradually, allowing pain response without immediate tissue destruction. This technique maximizes pain compliance, while minimizing visible permanent damage. It's a torture method, not an assault method. The distinction is crucial. Someone untrained might cause more severe burns accidentally through panic. These injuries show control, calculation, and medical knowledge of burn progression. Dr. Brennan would have known exactly how long he could maintain this exposure before causing third-degree burns or permanent disfigurement. He stopped just short of that threshold. That's not accident or rage. That's applied medical knowledge. The room was silent. Dad's attorney tried to redirect. Isn't it possible? No. Dr. Martinez cut him off. I've analyzed burn patterns for 23 years. I've testified in 41 cases. Niki, Bielsadernonical Perni, Barternimanagalsa Q. These injuries were deliberately inflicted by someone with medical knowledge of thermal trauma. The evidence is conclusive. The board chairman made notes. Dr. Brennan, do you wish to speak? Dad stood. His voice was controlled. This is a family property dispute that became heated. My daughter is exaggerating an accident to gain advantage in. The medical evidence contradicts your statement. The chairman interrupted. Dr. Martinez's analysis is unambiguous. You're accused of using your medical training to torture a family member for financial gain. Do you have any evidence to refute the documented burn patterns? Dad sat down. His attorney whispered to him urgently. The board deliberated for 18 minutes. The chairman read the decision. Dr. Richard Brennan, your medical license is suspended immediately pending criminal prosecution. You are prohibited from practicing medicine, entering medical facilities, or accessing patient records. The clinic currently under ownership dispute will be overseen by a state-appointed administrator until legal ownership is confirmed. All your current patients will be notified and transferred to other providers. This board finds credible evidence that you used medical knowledge to commit torture. We are referring this case to the district attorney for criminal prosecution. Dad's face went white. His attorney gathered papers frantically. Furthermore, the chairman continued. We are opening an investigation into your treatment of staff and colleagues. We've received 3 additional complaints filed since this case became public. Those individuals will be interviewed under board protection. Mom stood from the gallery. This is destroying him over nothing. Security moved toward her. She sat down. I walked out of the hearing room with my attorney. News cameras lined the hallway. Someone had leaked the story. Doctor accused of torturing daughter. Scrolled across phone screens. My attorney's phone rang. She answered, listened, then turned to me. The district attorney is filing charges. Assault with a deadly weapon, torture, and attempted extortion. They want Dr. Martinez to testify at trial. Given your father's medical license suspension, they're confident about conviction. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. This is Dr. Martinez's office. She wanted you to know that 6 more of your father's former patients have contacted the medical board with complaints about his treatment methods. The board is expanding their investigation into his entire practice history. Also, the clinic's state administrator found financial irregularities. The DA may add fraud charges. I stood in the courthouse hallway, phone in hand, cameras flashing. My scalp still ached where hair was growing back. The clinic ownership was legally confirmed as mine that morning. The judge had ruled during a brief hearing before the medical board session. Dad's career was over. Criminal charges pending. His reputation destroyed. Other victims coming forward. Mom's final text glowed on my screen. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed everything. I deleted it, turned off my phone, walked out into the afternoon sun. Behind me, I could hear Dad's attorney making statements to the press. Something about appeals, second chances, family disputes. The evidence spoke louder. Burn patterns don't lie. Medical knowledge used as weapon is never defensible. And Dr. Martinez's testimony would follow Dad through every courtroom, every hearing, every appeal. The clinic was mine. The torture was documented. The consequences were just beginning.